Length. The SI base unit of length is the meter. And the tools we use to measure length are the meter rule, tape measure, micrometer screw gauge, and lastly the vernier calipers. So these are a lot of tools and we're going to understand these tools right now. Starting with meter rule. So the meter rule measures up to only 1 meter and can measure accurately up to 1 millimeter. So the smallest value it can measure accurately is 1 millimeter and the largest is 1 meters. So the meter rule is suitable for measuring regular objects like squares and straight lines because meter rule is not bendable and it's not flexible. So to measure an object using a meter rule, we just place the meter rule by the object and measure its length. So for example, this cube has a length of 14 centimeters. The meter rule is calibrated in inches as well as centimeters as well as millimeters. But the meter rule cannot be used to measure objects of a greater length, say for example 2 meters. We cannot use a meter rule to measure lengths bigger than 1 meter. So for doing that, we use a tape measure. So the tape measure can be used to measure long lengths as well as smaller ones. By smaller, we mean 1 millimeter. This is the smallest value a tape measure and a meter rule can measure. To measure even smaller ones like micrometer, we use other tools like the vernier calipers and the micrometer screw gauge. But for now, let's stick with tape measure. The tape measure can be used to measure long lengths as well. And because the tape is flexible, it can also measure diameters of cylindrical objects or lengths of bent wires. Okay, so this was the tape measure and the meter rule. Now let's move ahead onto the vernier calipers. So the vernier calipers measures up to 1/10 of a millimeter. So if I divide a millimeter into 10 parts, the 1/10th part of this millimeter is the accuracy of the vernier calipers. So the calipers is used to measure small lengths, internal diameters and external diameters of pipes and tubes. Now of course 1/10 of a millimeter is impossible to be measured by a human eye because 1/10 of a millimeter cannot be seen. So that is why a meter rule and tape measure would not be able to measure up to 1/10 of a millimeter. Only the vernier calipers can measure this. So let's look into the vernier calipers in a more detailed way. So this is the vernier calipers. In the vernier calipers, we have jaws to measure the internal diameter and jaws to measure the external diameter or lengths of objects. For example, this object being measured over here, the diameter is being measured in this object. Now the vernier calipers has 2 scales. One is the vernier scale and the other is the main scale. This is the main scale and this is the vernier scale, the small one over here. So we have a screw to tighten the jaws of this vernier calipers and this is the main scale. How do we measure using this vernier calipers? It is not very difficult. So for example, here I have a vernier calipers and this is the object I want to measure using this vernier calipers. I open the jaws of this vernier calipers and place the object and tighten the jaws around it. Now as you can see, it is written over here that this vernier scale is calibrated in 0.02 millimeters. So this single mark is equal to 0.02 millimeters. So what would happen is that this one mark represents 0.02 millimeters and 0.04 millimeters, 0.06 millimeters, 0.08 millimeters and 0.10 millimeters is when we get over here. So now we're going to look at the main scale. The reading the main scale shows is we're going to read just beside the 0 of the vernier scale. This is the marking that is just to the left of 0 and we're not going to go over the 0, we're going to stay behind the 0. So this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 19 millimeters is the main scale reading. So after that we have the vernier scale. Now there is written that 0.02 millimeter is what each marking of this vernier scale represents, 0.02 millimeters. So what happens, let me read this vernier scale. So 0.02 millimeters, 0.04 millimeters, 0.06 millimeters, 0.08 millimeters, and then we get 0.1 millimeters, 0.10 millimeters, and then we have 0.12 millimeters, 0.14 millimeters, 0.16 millimeters, 0.18, and so on. This is how this vernier calipers is calibrated. Now we're going to find a marking of this vernier scale which is exactly aligned with the marking of the main scale. And so the marking that is exactly aligned with the main scale is this one. What is this marking? How are we going to read it out? So basically this marking over here represents 0.40 millimeters. And then after this marking we have 0.42 millimeters, and then this marking is in 0.44 millimeters. So 0.44 millimeters is the vernier scale reading and 19 is the main scale reading. So when we add this vernier scale reading to the main scale reading, which is 19, we get the answer, and the answer is 19.44. So this is the answer of this vernier calipers. So this is how we use a vernier calipers to measure an object's length or diameter. Basically, read the main scale just to the left of 0 and then the vernier scale. How do we do that? We find the markings of the vernier scale which is exactly aligned with the markings of the main scale, and then we add the vernier scale reading to the main scale reading to find the answer. This is how we use the vernier calipers. So the vernier calipers can be calibrated in many different things. For example, this vernier calipers is calibrated in 0.05 millimeters. So the least count of this vernier calipers is 0.05 millimeters, which means that a single marking of this, which is this one, represents 0.05 millimeters. From 0 to 1 we have 0.10 millimeters. This is how we use our vernier calipers to measure an object's diameter or its length. So now let's go ahead and find out what the zero error is in the vernier calipers. So a zero error is basically what happens is even when the vernier calipers jaws are closed, it shows a reading. If it shows a reading, this means that the vernier calipers has an error. For example, this vernier calipers jaws are tightly closed together and there is no object in between, but it still shows a reading over here. And this reading basically is the zero error. Now, how to read the zero error? In order to measure using this zero error vernier calipers, we would have to know the zero error, and then we're going to find out how we're going to measure accurately with this vernier calipers with it having a zero error. So there are two types of zero error. One is a positive zero error and the other is a negative zero error. The positive zero error is when the zero on the vernier scale is to the right side of the zero of the main scale. And a negative zero error is when the vernier scale zero is to the left side from the zero of the main scale. If the vernier scale 0 is exactly aligned with the main scale 0, this means that the vernier calipers has no zero error. But if it shows something like this, that even when the jaws are closed, tightly closed together and there is no object in between, even if it shows a reading, then it is obvious that there is a zero error. If the 0 is onto the left side of the main scale 0, then it is a negative zero error, and if the vernier scale 0 is onto the right side of the main scale 0, then it is a positive zero error. So how do we read this zero error? In order to find out the actual value of this zero error so that we can do measurements from this vernier calipers, we're going to measure the zero error. So let's say, for example, this positive zero error. We are going to find the vernier scale marking which is exactly aligned with one of the main scale markings, which is in this case 6. So this 6 vernier scale marking is exactly aligned with the main scale marking. Now we're going to read the vernier scale from this 0. So we're going to read it from the left side, the way we read it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. because it is a positive zero error. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 0.6 millimeter is the positive zero error this vernier calipers has. Now, if I am going to read a negative zero error, then I would read the vernier scale from this 0, from this 10 basically. Not from here, not from this side. I'm going to read it from this side. So it's going to be, this 10 is going to become 0 and 9 is going to become 1. So we're going to read it from this side because it is a negative zero error. If it is a positive one, we read it from here. But if it is a negative one, we read it in reverse. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 in this case is the zero error. Minus 0.4. Remember, always write the minus. Now what will happen is if we are measuring any object using this vernier calipers, this one over here, which has a negative zero error, all we have to do is minus this zero error from the reading the vernier calipers gives. So if I'm measuring an object and the reading is x, for example, the reading is obviously incorrect because the vernier calipers has zero error, but all we have to do to make it correct is minus this zero error from the reading it gives. Same with the other positive zero error, we have to just minus the zero error from the reading the vernier calipers gives and we get the correct reading. So this is how we find the zero error in the vernier calipers. So now let's look at some examples over here. Here we have some vernier calipers with their zero errors and their correct readings. So these are the readings. The vernier calipers over here are shown with the jaws closed. So over here we're going to find out the zero errors of these vernier calipers. And these are the ones in which they are measuring an object. So they're giving a reading. Obviously the reading is not correct. We have to minus the zero error from this reading and find out the correct reading. So now you can pause the video over here and find out the zero error of this vernier calipers and do the calculation. Okay, so the zero error of this vernier calipers is minus 0.03. So because it is a negative zero error, we're going to read it from this 0. So 1, 2, 3 is the markings that are exactly aligned together. So 0 minus 0.03 is the zero error of this vernier calipers. Now the correct reading of this vernier calipers here is, first we're going to find the reading of this vernier calipers that it is showing. So the reading is, the main scale is 0. We're going to find out which of the markings are exactly aligned with the main scale marking, and over here we have 6. So 0.06 is the reading of this vernier calipers. And now we're going to minus this zero error from this reading. And because minus becomes plus, minus minus is plus, so the answer is going to be bigger than the initial reading. And so the correct reading of this vernier calipers is 0.09. So this is the correct reading of this vernier calipers. Now here we have another vernier calipers with a zero error and reading. So find out the zero error and correct reading. So the zero error of this vernier calipers is 0.03. Because it is positive, we start from here 0.1, 0.2 and 0.3 exactly aligned. So how we're going to find the reading of this vernier calipers? We first find the main scale reading, which is 1 millimeter. So there we have the main scale reading. Then we're going to find the vernier scale reading, which is 0.06 millimeters. We're going to add these two readings, 0.06 with 1, and we get 1.06, which is the reading of this vernier calipers. So this is the reading of this vernier calipers, and now we're going to subtract the zero error from this reading to find the correct reading. And the answer is 1.03. So this is the correct reading of this vernier calipers. Now here we have another vernier calipers Pause the video and find out the zero error of this vernier calipers and the correct reading as well. This is a negative zero error. So the answer is minus 0.06. Minus 0.06 is the zero error of this vernier calipers. The correct reading is 6.4 is the main scale reading of the vernier calipers, and the vernier scale reading is 0.03. So we're going to add this vernier scale reading to the main scale reading. 0.03 plus the main scale reading, and the answer is 6.43. Now we're going to subtract this zero error from this reading, and the answer is 6.49. So this is how we find the zero error of a vernier calipers and how we correct the reading of the vernier calipers. Now that we've understood the vernier calipers and the zero errors and how to find the zero error and correct the given readings with the zero error, we can now move ahead onto the micrometer screw gauge. So the micrometer screw gauge measures accurately up to 1 million part of a meter, that is a micrometer. If we divide a meter into 1 million parts, we get a micrometer. And a screw gauge measures accurately up to a micrometer. So it is even more accurate than a vernier calipers. So this is what a screw gauge looks like, micrometer screw gauge. Let's go into a much more detailed version of the micrometer screw gauge. So here we have the measuring faces of this, the anvil and the spindle, and this is the U-frame. These are the jaws basically of this micrometer screw gauge. Then again, the micrometer screw gauge also has a main scale and a fractional scale which is on the rotating barrel. This is the thimble and the ratchet stop. This is used to apply just the right pressure onto the object being measured. Here we have this micrometer screw gauge. Now, how do we read the micrometer screw gauge? The micrometer screw gauge also has a main scale and a fractional scale. So, the main scale tells us the measurement in millimeters, and the fractional scale tells us a fraction of the millimeter that we have to add in the main scale reading. So, for example, this, even though it's not measuring any object, for example, it is measuring an object because it is still open, it's not closed. So, this micrometer screw gauge has the main scale reading shown like this. So, the reading is something like this: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 5 millimeters. 0, 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter, 4 millimeter, 5 millimeter, 6 millimeter, and 7 millimeter is the point where it ends. So 7 millimeter is the main scale reading. Then we have to look at the fractional scale. The marking of the fractional scale that is aligned with this line is 75, as it can be seen. Now this 75 is written as 0.75. If the number is in tens, then we say 0.75, and if the number is in units, then we say 0.01 or 02 or 03. So 0.04 or 0.06. But if it's in tens, then we write it this way: 0.75. No zero in the middle. No zero after the point. So now we add the main scale reading and the fractional scale reading to get the answer, which is 7.75. So this is how you measure an object's length or diameter using the micrometer screw gauge. So let's do an example over here. What is the reading this micrometer screw gauge shows? So the main scale is this one, and it is calibrated something like this: 50, and the upper dots basically represent 0.5. So if this is 50, then the upper dot will be 50.5, and then this one is 51, and then we have 51.5, then 52, 52.5, 53, 53.5, 54, 54.5, and 55. So this is how we do it. Now this is 60, and the main scale is ending at this point, which is 60.5. So the main scale reading is 60.5. Let's write it down here. This is the main scale reading. And the fractional scale reading is, this is 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16. So the fractional scale reading is 16, so it is 0.16. So we add 0.16 in the main scale reading and we find the answer, and the actual reading is 60.66. So this is how we measure using a micrometer screw gauge. The main scale is calibrated in millimeters and 0.5 millimeters, something like this. So this millimeter is 1 millimeter and that one is 0.5. So if 50, that mark would represent 50.5. Then the fractional scale tells us the fraction of a millimeter that we have to add in the main scale reading. So now let's move ahead onto the micrometer screw gauge zero error. The zero error occurs when any instrument shows a reading even when its jaws are completely closed. If a micrometer screw gauge doesn't have a zero error, it will look something like this, that the fractional scale 0 would be completely aligned with the main scale 0. But if it has a zero error, then the two zeros will not be aligned. Same as vernier calipers, the micrometer screw gauge also has a positive zero error and a negative zero error. Positive zero error is when the zero on the fractional scale is lower than the zero on the main scale. And the negative zero error is when the zero on the fractional scale is above the zero on the main scale. Something like this. So this is a positive zero error and this is a negative zero error. So we know that this is positive and negative. Now let's read the zero error, read the value of the zero error so that we can make measurements using this micrometer screw gauge. What is the zero error of this micrometer screw gauge? All we have to do is read the markings to where the zero is coming from. So if it's a positive zero error, we're going to read from this zero. In micrometer screw gauge, we always read the zero error from the fractional scale 0 towards the main scale 0. So if it's a positive zero error, we will read it like this: 0, 1, 2. So positive 0.02 is the zero error of this micrometer screw gauge. But over here it's a negative zero error, but still we will just read from the fractional scale 0 towards the main scale 0. So in this case we will be reading backwards in a way. So this negative zero error is not going to be called 46, it is going to be 0.04, because we're going to read it backwards because it is a negative zero error. So in other words, a micrometer screw gauge zero error is supposed to be read from the fractional scale 0 towards the main scale 0, whether it is a positive zero error or a negative one. So if it's a negative one, we will basically read backwards from this 0 towards this 0. Something like this. Not going to read it all the way around to 46. It's not going to be 46, it is 0.04. The zero error is 1, 2, 3, 4. 0.04 minus 0.04. Because it is a negative zero error, so we write the minus sign. So this is how you read a zero error. So let's do some examples here. So this is the zero error and this is the reading of this micrometer screw gauge. Now first of all, we're going to understand whether this micrometer screw gauge has a zero error or not. Of course it has zero error because the lines are not aligned together. And what is the zero error? Is it a negative zero error or a positive zero error? Yes, it is a negative zero error because the 0 is above the main scale 0. The 0 on the fractional scale is above the main scale 0. So it's not below, but it's going above. So we're going to write down the zero error. What is the zero error? It is 0.01. Because of course the distance is of only one marking, so the zero error of this micrometer screw gauge is minus 0.01. So this is the zero error. Now here we have the reading of this micrometer screw gauge. So what is the reading? Firstly, we're going to read out the reading and then correct it. So the reading is 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4, 4.5 and 5. So the reading is 5. This is where the main scale is actually ending. So the reading of the main scale is 5 and the reading of the fractional scale is 20, 21, 22, 23. 0.23 is the reading on the fractional scale. So we're going to add these two readings and we get the answer, which is 5.23. So this is the reading of the micrometer screw gauge, but it is not a correct reading because the micrometer screw gauge itself has a zero error. So in order to correct this reading, we will minus this zero error, just like we did in the vernier calipers. So we minus and we minus the zero error, which is minus 0.01. Always remember to put brackets, because if we are minusing it, we will put two minus signs. So we have to put a bracket in between in order to make this a separate value. So when we do this, the minus basically become plus. So the reading is higher. So don't confuse this, because in maths, minus is equal to plus. And the answer is 5.24. So the correct reading is 5.24. So I hope now you've understood the zero error and the way we calculate the zero error and subtract the zero error from the readings that we get from a micrometer screw gauge which has zero error. So if the zeros are aligned together, there is no zero error. If they are not aligned together, there is a zero error. And if the fractional scale 0 is lower than the 0 on the main scale, then it is a positive zero error. And if it is above the 0 on the main scale, it is a negative zero error. And we will just basically count the markings from the fractional scale 0 to the main scale 0. If it is a negative zero error, we count it backwards. If it is a positive one, we count it the right way. Then we correct the reading of such a micrometer screw gauge by minusing the zero error from it.